Have you ever noticed that some people seem to find happiness even on the hardest days? They smile, they stay calm, and they move through life with a quiet confidence that makes you wonder how they do it. Happiness might seem like a mystery, something that only some lucky people can experience. But in reality, happiness is not something that just happens to you. It is something you can practice, something you can learn, and something you can choose every single day. Before we dive into the ideas that will help you be happy every day, take a moment to imagine a life where you wake up feeling content, motivated, and ready to face whatever comes your way. Imagine looking forward to your mornings, feeling grateful for the little things, and seeing challenges as opportunities to grow. That life is possible, and this audiobook will help you get there. If you enjoy learning practical ways to improve your life and grow into the best version of yourself, don't forget to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio. By subscribing, you will never miss a new audiobook that can inspire you, guide you, and make your days brighter. Chapter 1. The Secret of Daily Happiness. Happiness is often misunderstood. Many people think happiness comes from getting the perfect job, having lots of money, or being surrounded by friends and family. While these things can bring temporary joy, lasting happiness does not depend on external circumstances. True happiness comes from within. It depends on how you see the world, how you respond to challenges, and how you take care of yourself mentally and emotionally. The first step toward daily happiness is noticing the small positive moments. These moments are often easy to overlook. A warm cup of tea, a friendly smile, a quiet walk in the morning. Many people spend most of their time focusing on what is wrong or missing in their lives. But learning to focus on what is right can shift your perspective dramatically. When you intentionally look for the good, your brain begins to prioritize positive experiences and creates a habit of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool for happiness. You can start a simple daily practice by listing 3 things you are grateful for every morning. They do not need to be big or extraordinary. It could be as simple as having a roof over your head, enjoying a favorite song, or finishing a small task at work or school. Writing these down in a journal or on your phone makes them tangible and strengthens your brain's ability to focus on positive aspects of life. Over time, this daily practice can shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Another important step toward happiness is learning to manage your thoughts. Most people spend hours trapped in cycles of worry, regret, or fear. These negative thoughts can feel overwhelming, but you have the power to control them. One practical method is to pause when a negative thought appears and ask yourself, is this thought true? Does it help me, or does it harm me? By questioning your thoughts, you can make conscious choices that support your well-being. Instead of letting negativity dominate your day, you begin to guide your mind toward calm and positivity. Happiness is also connected to action. Thinking positively is not enough. You must take steps that promote your mental and emotional well-being. This might include exercising, spending time in nature, reading, helping others, or taking short breaks to relax. Small actions done consistently create a foundation of happiness that is resilient to life's challenges. Even on difficult days, completing one small positive action can improve your mood and remind you that you have control over your life. It is also essential to understand that happiness does not mean the absence of problems. Life is unpredictable, and everyone faces challenges. True happiness comes from learning to navigate these challenges while maintaining a positive perspective. For example, instead of focusing on what went wrong during a difficult day, you can focus on what you learned, or how you grew from the experience. By shifting your attention from the problem to the lesson, you can turn struggles into opportunities for personal growth. Self-reflection is another critical aspect of happiness. Taking time to think about your values, goals, and achievements helps you understand what truly matters to you. When your daily actions align with your values, you feel more fulfilled and content. For instance, if kindness is important to you, helping someone, even in a small way, can create a sense of purpose and happiness. Regular reflection allows you to track progress, celebrate victories, and make adjustments when necessary. Happiness also thrives in connection with others. Relationships, whether with family, friends, or colleagues, play a significant role in emotional well-being. Positive connections offer support, encouragement, and shared joy. However, it is important to engage with people who uplift you rather than drain your energy. Building healthy relationships and setting boundaries when needed creates a social environment that fosters happiness. Another key factor is learning to live in the present moment. Many people spend too much time worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. Simple activities like noticing the sensations of a walk, listening carefully to someone speak, or focusing on your breathing can bring your mind back to the now. Practicing mindfulness helps reduce stress, increases awareness of small joys, and strengthens emotional resilience. Physical well-being also supports emotional happiness. Exercise, healthy eating, and adequate sleep contribute to better mood regulation, energy levels, and overall mental health. When your body feels good, your mind is better equipped to handle challenges and maintain positivity. Even small steps, such as taking a short walk, drinking water regularly, or practicing stretches, can improve both body and mind. It is normal to have days when happiness feels distant. On these days, it is important to practice self-compassion. Accept that difficult emotions are part of life, and treat yourself with kindness instead of criticism. Self-compassion allows you to recover faster from setbacks and continue pursuing happiness without being held back by guilt or frustration. Developing a routine can also support consistent happiness. When you structure your day with intentional activities including gratitude, reflection, positive action, and self-care, happiness becomes less dependent on external circumstances. For example, starting your morning with a short journaling exercise, a healthy breakfast, and a moment of reflection sets a positive tone for the day. Small routines reinforce habits that lead to lasting happiness. Another practical technique is to focus on personal growth rather than comparison. Many people feel unhappy because they measure themselves against others. Instead, evaluate your progress based on your own goals and values. Celebrate personal achievements, no matter how small, and recognize that everyone's journey is unique. By focusing on self-improvement rather than comparison, happiness becomes a result of growth, not competition. Lastly, embrace optimism as a mindset. Optimism does not mean ignoring reality or pretending life is perfect. It means looking for opportunities, finding solutions, and believing in your ability to handle challenges. Optimistic thinking creates resilience and allows you to approach life with confidence and joy, even during hard times. Happiness is a daily choice. By practicing gratitude, managing your thoughts, taking positive actions, reflecting on your values, connecting with others, caring for your body, and embracing optimism, you can create a life filled with joy. Life will always have difficulties, but with consistent effort, you can experience happiness every day, no matter the circumstances. Chapter 2: Breaking the Patterns That Hold You Back. Life has a way of repeating itself in patterns. Some of these patterns are harmless, or even comforting, but others quietly prevent us from experiencing real happiness. Many people wonder why, despite trying various techniques or reading self-help books, they still feel stuck in the same cycles of frustration, worry, or dissatisfaction. The answer often lies not in the outside world, but within our own habits, thought processes, and emotional reactions. To experience lasting happiness, it is essential to recognize and change the patterns that hold us back. One of the most common patterns is negative self-talk. Many people carry an inner voice that constantly criticizes, doubts, or judges them. This voice may have developed over years, influenced by past mistakes, failures, or even subtle messages from family, school, or society. Negative self-talk shapes emotions, influences decisions, and affects behavior. It convinces us that we are not capable, not worthy, or not deserving of joy. The first step to breaking this habit is awareness. Begin noticing when this inner voice shows up. Pause and examine the thoughts carefully. Ask yourself if these statements are actually true, or if they are exaggerated by fear, insecurity, or past experiences. Awareness is only the first step. The next is actively challenging negative thoughts. For instance, if your mind says, "I always fail," reflect on past achievements, no matter how small. Recall moments when you overcame challenges, learned something valuable, or grew stronger. By questioning the accuracy of negative thoughts, you gradually shift your mind toward positivity and confidence. Over time, this creates a new habit of constructive thinking, which reinforces happiness rather than undermining it. Another pattern that often blocks happiness is relying too much on external validation. Many people depend on praise, recognition, or approval from others to feel good about themselves. While it is natural to enjoy positive feedback, basing your happiness solely on external approval creates an unstable foundation. Life is unpredictable, and external validation is not always guaranteed. True happiness emerges when you cultivate inner validation, trusting your judgment, acknowledging your efforts, and celebrating personal growth. Inner validation builds a sense of self-worth that remains stable, even when others fail to recognize your value. Procrastination and avoidance are also common obstacles to joy. When we avoid responsibilities, difficult tasks, or decisions, stress and guilt accumulate. This tension affects our mood and creates a cycle of dissatisfaction. Breaking the habit of avoidance starts with small actions. Tackling one task at a time, gradually facing responsibilities, and rewarding progress cultivates a sense of accomplishment and control. Each small action reinforces confidence and emotional well-being. Perfectionism is another subtle trap. Striving for perfection often leads to frustration because perfection is unattainable. People who are perfectionists focus excessively on mistakes or flaws, leading to stress and self-criticism. Happiness rarely comes from flawless performance. It emerges from effort, learning, and resilience. Shifting the focus from perfect outcomes to consistent progress allows people to enjoy growth rather than dwell on shortcomings. A significant pattern in today's world is constant comparison. Social media and modern lifestyles make it easy to compare yourself to others, often leaving you feeling inadequate. Comparing your journey with someone else's carefully curated life story fosters dissatisfaction. Instead, focus on personal growth. Reflect on your achievements, however small, and celebrate your progress. Recognize that everyone's path is unique, and your worth is not determined by others. Happiness grows when you measure yourself against your own standards, rather than against others. Fear and avoidance of discomfort are other hidden patterns. Many people seek constant comfort and avoid challenges, difficult conversations, or emotional growth. While comfort is natural, overdependence on it prevents personal development. True happiness often arises when we confront discomfort, face fears, and embrace challenges. Each time you step into a situation that scares you or requires effort, you expand your confidence and your capacity for joy. Holding on to past regrets or grudges is another major barrier to happiness. People often replay old mistakes, failures, or moments when others hurt them. Carrying these emotional burdens reduces mental energy and clouds the present. Letting go does not mean forgetting or excusing wrongs. It means freeing yourself from the weight of past negativity, reflecting on lessons learned and choosing forgiveness, both for yourself and others, opens space for happiness and peace. Another subtle habit is ruminating without action. Thinking about problems endlessly without taking steps to address them fosters helplessness. Instead, shift from passive worry to proactive problem solving. Break challenges into manageable steps and focus on what you can control. Each small action builds momentum, confidence, and a positive mindset. This approach gradually reduces anxiety and creates space for joy. Neglecting self-care is another habit that quietly blocks happiness. Many people prioritize responsibilities, work, or others' needs over their own well-being. Ignoring physical health, sleep, nutrition, or emotional care slowly drains energy and reduces happiness. Introducing a daily self-care routine, even simple actions like walking, stretching, reading, or deep breathing, strengthens resilience, improves mood, and supports long-term contentment. A related pattern is taking things for granted. Focusing only on what is missing in life creates dissatisfaction. Practicing intentional gratitude, noticing the small blessings and joys in everyday life, shifts the mind toward contentment. Even amidst challenges, appreciating what works and what is positive builds emotional strength and supports daily happiness. Breaking these patterns is not instant. Habits develop over years, and changing them takes patience and consistent effort. Begin with awareness and focus on one pattern at a time. Apply practical steps gradually and reflect regularly on progress. Each intentional choice strengthens new habits that support joy. It is important to recognize that growth is not linear. Old patterns will resurface occasionally, and moments of doubt, stress, or frustration will appear. This is normal. Each time you notice a negative pattern and respond consciously, you strengthen your ability to choose happiness. Over time, the accumulation of these choices builds resilience, emotional strength, and lasting well-being. Breaking these limiting patterns not only impacts personal happiness, but also improves relationships. When you are less reactive to negative thoughts, comparison, or perfectionism, your presence becomes more positive and encouraging to those around you. Your ability to connect, support, and inspire grows, creating a ripple effect of happiness beyond yourself. By addressing the patterns that hold you back, you reclaim control over your emotional life. The journey toward happiness is not about perfect thinking or constant positivity. It is about intentional choices, consistent effort, and self-awareness. Each step you take strengthens your mind and opens space for joy. As we move to the next chapter, we will explore practical habits and daily practices that actively cultivate happiness, creating routines that transform ordinary days into sources of lasting joy. This will help you not only break negative patterns, but also build a positive momentum that carries from one day to the next. Chapter 3. Building habits that cultivate happiness. Breaking negative patterns is only the first step toward a happier life. Once you identify the thoughts and behaviors that hold you back, the next step is to create habits that actively cultivate joy and well-being. Happiness is not a random event or a distant goal. It is the result of small, intentional actions repeated consistently over time. By incorporating practical habits into your daily routine, you can gradually shape a life filled with satisfaction, contentment, and purpose. One of the most powerful habits for daily happiness is practicing gratitude regularly. Gratitude is more than saying thank you or acknowledging something positive. It is a mindset that focuses your attention on what is good in life. People who practice gratitude consistently tend to notice opportunities, appreciate simple pleasures, and respond to challenges with a sense of resilience. A simple exercise is to write down 3 things you are grateful for each day. They do not need to be extraordinary. Even the comfort of a quiet morning, a kind word from someone, or completing a small task counts. Over time, this habit trains your brain to focus on positives, making joy easier to access even during difficult days. Mindfulness and presence are equally important. Life often feels rushed, and many people spend their days dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully aware of the present moment, noticing sights, sounds, thoughts, and feelings without judgment. This habit encourages calmness, reduces stress, and strengthens emotional resilience. It can be as simple as taking a few minutes each morning to breathe deeply, paying attention to the sensations of a walk, or focusing fully on a conversation without distraction. Mindfulness builds a strong foundation for happiness because it allows you to experience life as it happens, rather than getting lost in regrets or anxieties. Another key habit is physical activity. Exercise is not only beneficial for the body, it significantly affects mood and mental well-being. Regular movement releases endorphins, reduces stress hormones, and improves energy levels. This does not require intense workouts or hours at the gym. Even walking, stretching, light jogging, or dancing for a few minutes daily can lift mood and enhance overall happiness. Integrating movement into your day creates a positive feedback loop where improved physical health supports mental clarity and emotional stability. Acts of kindness also contribute to lasting happiness. Helping others, whether through small gestures or significant support, fosters a sense of purpose and connection. Simple actions, such as listening to a friend, sharing resources, or offering encouragement, can produce positive emotions for both the giver and the receiver. Kindness strengthens social bonds, increases feelings of gratitude, and creates a ripple effect of positivity in the community. People who make kindness a habit often report higher life satisfaction and more frequent moments of joy. Self-reflection is another habit that supports happiness. Regularly evaluating your goals, values, and experiences helps ensure that your daily actions align with what truly matters to you. This practice allows you to adjust your behaviors, celebrate achievements, and learn from setbacks. Reflective journaling, quiet contemplation, or even casual conversations with trusted friends can serve this purpose. The habit of self-reflection encourages growth and keeps you focused on long-term fulfillment rather than short-term distractions. Positive social connections are crucial for emotional well-being. Humans are social creatures, and relationships deeply influence happiness. Prioritize meaningful connections that uplift and support you. Spend time with people who inspire, motivate, or simply make you feel understood. Avoid relationships that consistently drain energy or reinforce negative habits. Nurturing positive social bonds provides support during challenges and amplifies joy during good times. Over time, strong social networks create a reliable foundation for lasting happiness. Developing resilience through small challenges is another important habit. Life is unpredictable, and difficulties are inevitable. Facing challenges with a mindset of learning and growth strengthens resilience and builds confidence. Start with small, manageable challenges to build this skill gradually. For example, try learning a new skill, engaging in a new activity, or approaching a situation that makes you slightly uncomfortable. Each time you overcome a challenge, you reinforce your ability to cope with future difficulties and enhance your overall sense of competence and well-being. Limiting exposure to negativity is also a vital habit. Continuous exposure to negative news, toxic social media, or critical people can drain energy and reduce happiness. Establish boundaries to protect your mental and emotional space. Choose the information you consume, the company you keep, and the environments you enter. Surrounding yourself with positive influences and limiting harmful ones helps maintain a mindset that is open to joy and satisfaction. Another habit is setting small, achievable goals. Daily or weekly goals give life structure and a sense of progress. Achieving even modest goals releases a sense of accomplishment, reinforcing confidence and motivation. Break larger ambitions into smaller, actionable steps, and celebrate their completion. This habit transforms overwhelming challenges into manageable tasks and helps you maintain a steady sense of achievement and fulfillment. Celebrating small wins is closely related. Many people focus only on big achievements, overlooking everyday successes. Recognizing small victories, finishing a project, completing a workout, resolving a conflict, or helping someone reinforces positive behavior and strengthens your sense of purpose. The habit of acknowledging progress keeps motivation high and makes happiness a continuous part of life, rather than a distant outcome. Mindful consumption of media and information also shapes happiness. What you read, watch, or listen to influences thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Limit exposure to content that induces anxiety, fear, or negativity. Instead, seek information that educates, inspires, or uplifts. Intentional consumption fosters curiosity, learning, and optimism. Over time, it strengthens a positive mindset, making joy more accessible and stable. Regular learning and growth is a habit that sustains happiness. Personal development keeps the mind engaged and provides a sense of accomplishment and purpose. Learning can be formal, like courses and books, or informal, like exploring new hobbies or understanding different perspectives. Each step of growth builds confidence and reinforces the belief that life is full of possibilities, which supports long-term contentment. Lastly, developing a habit of reflection and preparation for the next day enhances happiness. Ending each day by reviewing achievements, acknowledging lessons learned, and setting intentions for tomorrow helps create a sense of control and readiness. This practice reduces anxiety, reinforces positive behaviors, and primes the mind for productivity and joy in the coming day. Building these habits is not instantaneous. Consistency is key. Start with a few habits and gradually expand, allowing them to become integrated naturally into your life. Small intentional actions repeated daily lead to profound changes over time. Each positive habit reinforces others, creating a momentum that transforms ordinary routines into a life filled with purpose, satisfaction, and happiness. By cultivating habits that promote gratitude, mindfulness, physical activity, kindness, reflection, social connection, resilience, positive consumption, goal setting, learning, and preparation, you lay the foundation for a sustainable sense of well-being. These habits, when practiced consistently, allow happiness to become less dependent on circumstances and more rooted in choices and daily practices. Chapter 4: Staying Happy During Difficult Times. Life is full of challenges, and even the happiest people face moments of stress, sadness, or disappointment. What sets them apart is not that they never experience difficulty, but that they have developed ways to maintain a sense of happiness and stability, even in hard times. Understanding how to stay emotionally balanced during challenges is essential for creating lasting joy. One of the most important strategies is learning to accept reality as it is. Resistance to difficult situations often intensifies negative emotions. When life does not go according to plan, fighting against reality can create frustration and despair. Acceptance does not mean giving up or resigning yourself to hardship. It means acknowledging the situation clearly and calmly, which allows you to respond effectively instead of reacting impulsively. Acceptance creates mental clarity, which is the first step in navigating challenges with resilience. Another key factor is controlling your focus. People who struggle during tough times often fixate on the negative aspects of a situation. This fixation magnifies stress and prevents positive action. By consciously shifting your focus toward what you can control, small opportunities, and potential solutions, you reduce anxiety and open the mind to constructive possibilities. Even noticing small things that are still going well in your life can provide balance and hope. Resilience is built through perspective. Viewing challenges as opportunities for growth transforms difficulties into valuable experiences. Every setback contains lessons that can teach patience, creativity, empathy, or problem-solving skills. By framing hardships in this way, challenges become a training ground for emotional strength rather than sources of despair. Over time, this perspective helps people respond to difficulties with calmness and confidence. Maintaining daily routines during stressful periods is also crucial. Routines provide stability and a sense of control, even when other aspects of life feel unpredictable. Simple habits, like going to bed and waking up at consistent times, maintaining meals, and incorporating movement or reflection into the day reinforce a sense of normalcy. These small but consistent actions anchor the mind and provide a foundation for emotional resilience. Mindfulness continues to play a vital role during hard times. When challenges arise, it is easy to be swept away by worry, fear, or regret. Mindfulness encourages observing thoughts and emotions without judgment, recognizing that feelings are temporary and do not define you. Simple practices like deep breathing, paying attention to the present moment, or noting physical sensations can calm the mind and allow you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Social support becomes especially important during difficult periods. Connecting with trusted friends, family members, or mentors provides encouragement and perspective. Talking openly about challenges and receiving support strengthens emotional health. Equally important is seeking out people who listen without judgment and offer constructive guidance. Feeling understood and supported alleviates the sense of isolation that often accompanies stressful situations. Emotional regulation is another habit that supports happiness in hard times. Learning to manage emotions does not mean suppressing them. It means recognizing feelings and responding to them in healthy ways. Techniques like journaling, reflecting on the causes of emotions, practicing deep breathing, or engaging in calming activities help prevent emotions from overwhelming you. Over time, these practices build emotional stability and reduce the impact of stress on daily happiness. Optimism remains a guiding principle during adversity. While optimism does not ignore reality or minimize difficulties, it encourages looking for solutions, acknowledging strengths, and maintaining hope. Optimistic thinking allows you to approach problems with energy and creativity rather than despair. Even small optimistic thoughts, repeated consistently, gradually reshape your outlook and improve emotional resilience. Self-care becomes critical during challenging periods. People often neglect basic needs when stressed, believing that survival requires constant effort without rest. However, neglecting sleep, nutrition, exercise, or mental breaks undermines both physical and emotional well-being. Prioritizing self-care, even in small ways, strengthens the mind and body, making it easier to handle difficulties without losing sight of happiness. Another factor in staying happy is managing expectations. Sometimes unhappiness arises from unrealistic demands we place on ourselves or life. By adjusting expectations to align with reality, we reduce frustration and increase satisfaction. Accepting that life will have ups and downs, and that you cannot control every outcome, allows you to focus energy on what truly matters, and contributes to long-term happiness. Developing gratitude during hardship may seem counterintuitive, but it is a powerful tool. Even in difficult times, there are elements to appreciate: small successes, support from others, lessons learned, or moments of beauty. Actively noticing these positives reinforces resilience and helps maintain a sense of joy despite adversity. Gratitude acts as a stabilizer, reminding the mind that happiness is still accessible even amid challenges. Flexibility in thinking and behavior is another key habit. Stubbornly clinging to one way of handling difficulties often increases stress. Being willing to adapt strategies, adjust expectations, or try new approaches creates a sense of agency and reduces feelings of helplessness. Flexibility allows you to navigate challenges with creativity and confidence, maintaining a sense of control over your life. Spiritual or reflective practices can provide additional strength. For some, meditation, prayer, or connecting with personal beliefs offers comfort, perspective, and hope. These practices encourage reflection on values, purpose, and the bigger picture, reducing the intensity of negative emotions and enhancing long-term contentment. Facing fears directly is another habit that strengthens happiness in tough times. Avoidance may provide temporary relief, but confronting fears gradually builds courage and self-confidence. Each small step taken to overcome fear reinforces the mind's belief in its ability to handle challenges. Over time, this practice reduces anxiety and creates a sense of empowerment that supports overall happiness. Maintaining a sense of humor and perspective also protects happiness. Finding moments to laugh, noticing the absurdities of life, or remembering that difficulties are temporary helps prevent stress from becoming overwhelming. Humor and perspective provide relief, lighten emotional burdens, and remind the mind that joy can coexist with challenge. Finally, maintaining a sense of purpose sustains happiness during adversity. Purpose provides motivation, focus, and a reason to persevere. Engaging in meaningful work, supporting others, or pursuing goals aligned with your values keeps life moving forward. Even when circumstances are difficult, a strong sense of purpose acts as an anchor, giving stability to emotions and reinforcing long-term contentment. By integrating these strategies, acceptance, focused attention, perspective, routines, mindfulness, social support, emotional regulation, optimism, self-care, gratitude, flexibility, reflective practices, facing fears, humor, and purpose, you create a resilient framework for happiness. Life will always have challenges, but with these habits, emotional stability and joy remain accessible. Chapter 5. The Power of Mindset. Happiness is not only influenced by what happens to you, but also by how you think about what happens. Your mindset, the way you see yourself, your abilities, and the world around you shapes every aspect of your life. People with a positive and growth-oriented mindset approach challenges differently, handle stress more effectively, and enjoy more consistent happiness than those who see themselves as limited or powerless. Understanding and cultivating the right mindset is one of the most important steps in creating lasting joy. One of the first concepts to understand is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities, intelligence, or personality traits are unchangeable. They see challenges as threats, avoid failure, and often give up when things get difficult. On the other hand, people with a growth mindset see their abilities as improvable through effort, practice, and learning. They view challenges as opportunities, persist through obstacles, and see failure as a natural part of growth. Developing a growth mindset allows you to embrace challenges, learn from mistakes, and maintain happiness even in difficult circumstances. Your mindset affects how you interpret events. Two people can face the same situation, but experience it very differently, based on their thoughts. For example, losing a job can feel devastating if you focus only on loss, rejection, or failure. But if you see it as an opportunity to explore new paths, learn new skills, or discover what truly matters, the experience can become empowering rather than demoralizing. The way you frame experiences has a direct impact on emotions and long-term happiness. Self-talk is a major factor in shaping mindset. The messages you tell yourself every day influence how you feel and act. Positive, supportive self-talk reinforces confidence, motivation, and resilience. Negative self-talk can lead to doubt, stress, and a sense of helplessness. Developing awareness of your inner dialogue and actively shifting it toward encouragement and constructive thinking strengthens your mindset. For example, replace "I can't do this" with "I can learn to do this" with effort and practice. Over time, this habit rewires the mind to approach challenges with optimism and determination. Beliefs about control also shape happiness. People who feel powerless over their lives tend to experience more stress and dissatisfaction. Those who focus on what they can control, take responsibility for their choices, and act intentionally are more likely to feel empowered and content. Developing a sense of agency through deliberate actions and mindful decision-making reinforces the belief that you can influence outcomes, which strengthens both mindset and happiness. Resilience is closely linked to mindset. Resilient people maintain hope, learn from setbacks, and continue moving forward despite difficulties. A resilient mindset is built through practice, reflection, and self-compassion. Facing small challenges regularly, reflecting on lessons learned, and treating yourself kindly during mistakes gradually build mental strength. Resilience allows happiness to remain stable even when life is unpredictable or stressful. Optimism, as a mindset, plays a vital role in shaping daily experiences. Optimistic people expect positive outcomes, focus on solutions, and maintain hope during adversity. This does not mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It means acknowledging challenges, while believing that effort, creativity, and persistence can lead to favorable results. Optimism acts as a buffer against negative emotions and provides energy for action, which reinforces happiness consistently. Gratitude is another mindset habit. People who regularly notice what is good in their lives are more likely to maintain positive emotions. Gratitude shapes perception, making it easier to focus on opportunities, small joys, and meaningful experiences. Mindset and gratitude work together. A growth-oriented mind notices possibilities and appreciates progress, while gratitude ensures attention remains on the positive aspects of life, reinforcing happiness. Mindset also affects relationships. People with positive, flexible thinking approach social interactions with empathy, understanding, and patience. They handle conflicts better, support others more effectively, and create stronger connections. This not only benefits others, but also strengthens emotional well-being, since positive relationships are a key contributor to happiness. Learning to challenge limiting beliefs is an important step in mindset development. Everyone has beliefs formed by past experiences, culture, or family. Some beliefs may hold you back by suggesting that you are not capable, not deserving, or not able to change. Identifying these beliefs and testing them against reality allows you to replace them with more empowering perspectives. For example, instead of thinking, "I always fail," you can adopt, "I have succeeded before, and I can learn to succeed again." This shift in thinking directly enhances confidence, motivation, and happiness. Visualization is another tool for mindset growth. By imagining desired outcomes, practicing mental rehearsal, and picturing success, people can influence their focus, actions, and confidence. Visualization strengthens the brain's ability to recognize opportunities, prepare for challenges, and act decisively. Combining visualization with effort and persistence reinforces a mindset that supports happiness through proactive engagement with life. Curiosity and openness are additional mindset habits that promote happiness. Approaching life with curiosity encourages exploration, learning, and adaptation. People who remain open to new experiences, ideas, and perspectives are more likely to discover opportunities, connect with others, and develop a sense of purpose. Curiosity prevents stagnation and keeps life interesting, contributing to a sense of satisfaction and joy. Mindset is reinforced through daily practices and reflection, setting intentions each day, reviewing progress, and adjusting actions encourages growth and positive thinking. Journaling, meditation, or quiet reflection can help maintain awareness of thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. By checking in with yourself regularly, you ensure that your mindset remains aligned with your goals, values, and aspirations, which sustains happiness over time. Action is inseparable from mindset. Thinking positively or visualizing success is valuable, but without deliberate effort, mindset alone cannot create change. Habits, behaviors, and choices aligned with a growth-oriented, optimistic perspective produce tangible results. Daily actions reinforce belief in your ability to influence life, creating a positive feedback loop between mindset, effort, and happiness. Finally, mindset is about perspective and interpretation. Events themselves are neutral. The meaning you assign to them determines emotional impact. By consciously choosing empowering interpretations, focusing on opportunities for learning and growth, and maintaining hope, you shape daily experiences into sources of contentment. Happiness is not simply what happens to you, it is what you make of it, through your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Chapter 6. Daily Routines That Shape Happiness. Happiness is not something that happens by chance. It grows from the small repeated actions we take every day. Just as a plant needs regular water, sunlight, and care to thrive, our emotional well-being requires consistent habits and routines. By creating daily practices that support positivity, focus, and growth, you can transform ordinary days into a foundation for lasting happiness. One of the first routines to consider is starting the day intentionally. Many people wake up on autopilot, checking phones, rushing through tasks, or immediately reacting to external demands. Starting the day with intention means taking a few moments to set the tone. You might begin with deep breathing, a short reflection, or identifying one thing you want to accomplish or focus on. This small practice sets your mind for productivity, calmness, and positive engagement, rather than reacting to the chaos of the day. Morning gratitude is another habit that anchors happiness. Writing down or silently acknowledging 3 things you are grateful for primes your mind to notice positivity throughout the day. Even simple things, a warm shower, a song you enjoy, or a completed task, can cultivate a sense of appreciation. Regular gratitude practice strengthens the brain's ability to focus on good experiences and reduces the tendency to dwell on negative events. Movement in the morning or during the day is essential. Exercise does not need to be long or intense. Even a 10-minute walk, stretching, or light activity stimulates the body and mind. Physical activity releases endorphins, reduces stress, and improves focus. Incorporating movement into daily routines helps maintain energy levels, emotional stability, and motivation, all of which contribute to happiness. Mindful pauses throughout the day also support emotional well-being. Life is often busy, filled with obligations, distractions, and unexpected challenges. Taking short breaks to notice your surroundings, breathe deeply, or reflect on the present moment resets the mind and reduces stress. Mindful pauses prevent burnout and allow you to respond to events with clarity rather than reactivity. Healthy eating routines influence mood and energy. Consuming nutritious meals at regular intervals provides fuel for the body and mind. People often underestimate the connection between food and emotions. When the body is nourished, focus improves, energy increases, and irritability decreases. Regular meals and balanced nutrition form a stable foundation for daily contentment. Planning and organizing tasks is another habit that shapes happiness. People who act without planning often feel overwhelmed, anxious, or scattered. Taking time to outline priorities, schedule important tasks, and set realistic goals reduces stress and increases a sense of control. Even simple lists or reminders help structure the day and reinforce a feeling of accomplishment as tasks are completed. Social connection can be incorporated into daily routines to reinforce happiness. Checking in with friends or family, offering support, or sharing positive moments strengthens relationships and emotional well-being. Even brief, consistent interactions build bonds and provide opportunities for joy and encouragement. Maintaining a habit of meaningful connection ensures that relationships remain a source of support rather than stress. Reflection at the end of the day is another valuable routine. Reviewing the day allows you to acknowledge successes, learn from challenges, and consider adjustments for tomorrow. Reflection creates awareness, reinforces growth, and promotes a sense of closure. Simple journaling or quiet contemplation before bed helps the mind process experiences, release tension, and prepare for restorative sleep. Sleep itself is a crucial daily routine that directly affects happiness. Inadequate or irregular sleep impairs focus, mood, and emotional resilience. Establishing a consistent sleep schedule, creating a calming bedtime routine, and allowing enough rest strengthens mental clarity and emotional stability. Quality sleep makes it easier to handle challenges, appreciate positive experiences, and maintain consistent happiness. Time management also supports emotional balance. Structuring the day so that work, rest, social connection, and personal growth are balanced prevents burnout and creates space for joy. Prioritizing tasks based on importance rather than urgency ensures that energy is directed toward meaningful activities. Daily routines that integrate time for both productivity and relaxation maintain a sustainable sense of well-being. Hobbies and personal interests contribute to happiness when incorporated into daily life. Activities that bring joy, creativity, or relaxation provide emotional nourishment. Even small daily efforts, such as reading, drawing, or playing an instrument, add richness to life. Developing a routine that includes enjoyable activities strengthens resilience, reduces stress, and enhances overall life satisfaction. Practicing positive self-talk during daily routines reinforces mindset and emotional well-being. Reminding yourself of abilities, celebrating small wins, or acknowledging progress creates an ongoing dialogue that supports confidence and contentment. Daily routines that include conscious positive reinforcement gradually reshape beliefs and strengthen the mind's capacity for happiness. Limiting exposure to negativity is also part of daily routines. Checking news or social media at specific times, avoiding toxic conversations, and creating mental boundaries helps prevent unnecessary stress. Intentional routines for consuming information allow the mind to stay focused on opportunities, growth, and positive experiences, rather than being overwhelmed by negativity. Regular learning is another habit that can be incorporated into daily life. Spending time reading, exploring new ideas, or acquiring skills keeps the mind engaged and nurtures curiosity. Daily intellectual stimulation strengthens self-efficacy, encourages growth, and provides a sense of accomplishment, all of which reinforce happiness. Acts of kindness, when included in daily routines, also create lasting positive effects. Simple gestures, such as helping someone, complimenting a colleague, or offering encouragement, become natural habits that strengthen social bonds and produce a sense of purpose. Daily kindness creates a ripple effect of positivity, benefiting both the giver and those around them. Consistency is key when it comes to routines. Habits that support happiness take time to establish. Beginning with a few small practices and gradually expanding ensures that routines are sustainable and integrated naturally into life. Over time, these routines form a framework that makes joy accessible even on challenging days. By intentionally designing daily routines that include reflection, gratitude, mindfulness, movement, self-care, planning, social connection, positive reinforcement, learning, and kindness, you create a life in which happiness is a consistent presence rather than an occasional event. These habits reinforce each other, creating momentum that strengthens emotional resilience and well-being. Chapter 7. Maintaining happiness long-term. Building happiness is one thing, but maintaining it over months and years requires understanding how to sustain the habits, mindset, and routines that support emotional well-being. Life is unpredictable, and challenges, stress, and setbacks are inevitable. Without conscious effort, happiness can slip away when circumstances change. Learning how to preserve joy long-term is essential for creating a stable, fulfilling life. One of the most important strategies for maintaining happiness is consistency. Positive habits, such as gratitude, mindfulness, exercise, and reflection, are most effective when practiced regularly. Occasional efforts may bring temporary joy, but consistent practice builds lasting emotional strength. It is better to commit to small, manageable habits every day than to attempt massive changes that are hard to sustain. Over time, consistency turns intentional actions into natural behaviors that support happiness without conscious effort. Adaptability is another key factor. Life changes, responsibilities shift, and unexpected events occur. People who maintain long-term happiness are those who can adapt their routines, habits, and mindset to fit new circumstances. Flexibility prevents frustration when things do not go as planned, and allows you to continue nurturing happiness, even during transitions. Being adaptable means recognizing what is within your control, letting go of what is not, and finding creative ways to maintain balance and well-being. Tracking progress supports long-term happiness. Reflecting on achievements, reviewing goals, and acknowledging growth helps you stay aware of how your habits and mindset affect your life. This reflection prevents complacency and motivates continued effort. Even small reminders, such as journaling for a few minutes each week, reviewing personal goals, or noting improvements, can reinforce commitment to happiness practices. Tracking progress also makes challenges feel more manageable, as you can see that growth occurs gradually and consistently. Community and relationships play a critical role in sustaining happiness. Surrounding yourself with people who support your growth, encourage positivity, and share similar values reinforces healthy habits. Engaging in social networks, participating in group activities, or simply connecting regularly with friends and family maintains motivation and emotional balance. Long-term happiness is supported when your environment nurtures your values and reinforces the behaviors that sustain well-being. Mindset reinforcement is essential for maintaining joy. Positive thinking, growth-oriented beliefs, and optimism must be practiced consistently. Occasional lapses are normal, but returning to constructive thought patterns strengthens resilience. Daily reminders, affirmations, or reflection on lessons learned help maintain a mindset that supports emotional stability and satisfaction. Recognizing that mindset shapes experiences encourages deliberate focus on cultivating thoughts that reinforce happiness. Self-compassion is another key factor. Life is not perfect, and everyone faces mistakes, failures, and setbacks. Maintaining happiness long-term requires treating yourself with kindness, patience, and understanding when difficulties arise. Self-compassion prevents negative spirals and supports recovery after challenges. It allows you to continue practicing positive habits without being discouraged by occasional setbacks. Purpose and meaning sustain happiness. Over time, people who regularly connect their actions to larger goals, values, or a sense of purpose experience deeper and more lasting joy, whether it is contributing to family, pursuing personal growth, or helping others. Feeling that your life has meaning strengthens motivation and resilience. Regularly revisiting purpose ensures that daily actions remain aligned with long-term fulfillment, rather than drifting towards superficial or temporary pleasures. Flexibility in expectations is also important. Life does not always go according to plan, and rigid demands can lead to frustration and disappointment. Adjusting expectations to reflect reality, acknowledging challenges, and celebrating progress rather than perfection, creates a stable foundation for happiness. Long-term joy comes from appreciating the journey, not solely from achieving specific outcomes. Continuous learning reinforces long-term happiness. Engaging in personal growth, exploring new interests, or developing new skills keeps the mind active, promotes self-confidence, and fosters curiosity. Learning helps maintain engagement with life and prevents stagnation, which can lead to dissatisfaction. Even small, consistent efforts to learn or explore contribute to sustained joy. Managing stress is crucial for long-term emotional stability. Stressful periods are inevitable, but those who maintain happiness develop strategies to cope effectively. Techniques such as deep breathing, mindfulness, exercise, or seeking social support help prevent stress from eroding well-being. Regularly practicing stress management strategies ensures that challenges do not undermine the habits, mindset, and routines that sustain happiness. Reflection and adjustment are ongoing processes. Life circumstances change, and personal growth requires re-evaluation of goals, habits, and mindset. Periodic self-assessment allows you to refine routines, reinforce positive habits, and release practices that no longer serve you. Regular adjustment ensures that your approach to happiness remains relevant, effective, and aligned with current needs and values. Gratitude remains a cornerstone of long-term happiness. Even when life becomes routine or challenging, consistently noticing and appreciating positives maintains emotional stability. Gratitude prevents taking achievements, relationships, and simple joys for granted. Practicing gratitude daily strengthens perspective, increases resilience, and reinforces a mindset oriented towards satisfaction and fulfillment. Maintaining boundaries is another key to long-term happiness. Protecting your time, energy, and emotional space ensures that external demands do not deplete your resources. Setting limits on obligations, managing exposure to negativity, and prioritizing activities that support well-being preserves the energy needed to sustain positive habits and emotional stability. Boundaries prevent burnout and maintain the conditions necessary for lasting happiness. Celebrating progress regularly reinforces motivation and joy. Recognizing milestones, even small ones, reminds you of the value of consistent effort. This habit keeps engagement high and prevents discouragement during long-term challenges. Celebrating achievements strengthens confidence, reinforces positive behaviors, and sustains the sense of satisfaction that fuels continued growth. Finally, maintaining happiness long-term requires patience. Emotional well-being is a lifelong practice, not a destination. Consistent effort, reflection, and adjustment over months and years create lasting results. Patience allows you to stay committed to routines, mindset, and habits, even when immediate rewards are not visible. Understanding that happiness develops gradually encourages perseverance, resilience, and long-term fulfillment. By focusing on consistency, adaptability, tracking progress, nurturing relationships, reinforcing mindset, practicing self-compassion, connecting to purpose, adjusting expectations, continuing learning, managing stress, reflecting, practicing gratitude, maintaining boundaries, celebrating progress, and exercising patience, you can maintain happiness over the long term. Life will have ups and downs, but these strategies ensure that joy remains accessible, sustainable, and deeply rooted in your daily choices and practices. Chapter 8. Creating a daily system for happiness. By now you have learned about breaking negative patterns, building habits, developing mindset, maintaining routines, and sustaining joy over the long term. The next step is to combine all these lessons into a cohesive daily system for happiness. A daily system is a structured approach that integrates mindset, habits, routines, and reflection into everyday life, making happiness a consistent and natural part of your experience. A daily system begins with intention. Every morning, take a few moments to set your focus for the day. This might include identifying one goal, visualizing a positive outcome, or reminding yourself of the habits you want to practice. Starting the day with intention provides clarity, reduces distractions, and prepares the mind to engage with life consciously, rather than reactively. This small practice sets the tone for productive, mindful, and positive experiences throughout the day. Morning routines are a central part of the daily system. Begin with practices that energize the body and mind. This could include light exercise, stretching, or a short walk to stimulate movement and blood flow. Next, engage in mindfulness or meditation for a few minutes to center attention and calm the mind. Incorporate gratitude by noting 3 things you appreciate in your life. Even brief morning routines, when done consistently, reinforce emotional resilience and set the stage for a positive day. Daily habits form the foundation of the system. Choose actions that support happiness, such as journaling, reading, learning something new, or practicing self-care. Small habits accumulated over time create significant impact. For example, a daily 10-minute walk, or a few minutes of reflection, strengthens physical, mental, and emotional well-being. The key is consistency rather than intensity. A system built on regular, achievable actions becomes sustainable and effective in the long term. Planning and prioritization are also critical. Outline tasks for the day in order of importance and focus on what can realistically be accomplished. Breaking larger tasks into smaller steps reduces stress and creates a sense of progress. Incorporating both responsibilities and activities that bring joy ensures a balance between achievement and satisfaction. Planning prevents overwhelm, enhances focus, and reinforces a sense of control, which is essential for maintaining happiness. Social connections should be intentionally included in the daily system. Reach out to friends or family, offer support, or spend quality time together. Positive social interactions contribute significantly to emotional well-being. Even brief moments of connection strengthen relationships, provide encouragement, and enhance overall satisfaction. Daily systems that incorporate meaningful interactions ensure that happiness is reinforced through supportive connections. Mindset reinforcement is another essential element. Throughout the day, pay attention to thoughts and self-talk. Replace negative or limiting thoughts with constructive and positive ones. For instance, instead of thinking "I cannot handle this," try "I can approach this step by step and learn along the way." Maintaining a positive, growth-oriented mindset throughout the day strengthens resilience, confidence, and happiness. Reflection is a crucial part of the system. Set aside time each day to review experiences, acknowledge achievements, and identify lessons learned. Reflecting allows you to celebrate progress, adjust approaches, and maintain awareness of personal growth. Daily reflection ensures that habits, mindset, and routines continue to support happiness effectively. Incorporating flexibility into the system is important. Life is unpredictable, and unexpected events may disrupt plans. A resilient daily system accommodates changes without losing focus on core practices. Flexibility ensures that you can continue nurturing happiness even when circumstances shift, maintaining consistency while adapting to reality. Stress management practices should be embedded in the daily system. Short mindfulness exercises, deep breathing, movement breaks, or engaging in relaxing hobbies provide ongoing support for emotional stability. Managing stress proactively prevents negative emotions from accumulating and interfering with happiness. Including stress management routines daily strengthens resilience and makes challenges easier to navigate. Evening routines are as important as mornings. End the day with reflection, gratitude, and preparation for the next day. Review accomplishments, note lessons learned, and consider small improvements for tomorrow. Incorporate relaxing activities, such as reading, stretching, or listening to music, to calm the mind. Quality sleep routines complete the system, ensuring recovery and readiness for the next day. Consistent evening practices reinforce habits, support mindset, and sustain long-term happiness. Tracking progress over time adds accountability to the system. Maintain a journal or log of habits, accomplishments, and reflections. This helps identify patterns, areas for improvement, and successes worth celebrating. Tracking progress reinforces motivation, prevents stagnation, and strengthens commitment to daily practices that support happiness. Gratitude and kindness should be intentionally woven into the daily system. Noticing small joys, expressing appreciation, and performing acts of kindness create positive feedback loops. Gratitude reinforces focus on positives, while kindness strengthens social bonds and fosters purpose. Integrating these practices daily ensures that happiness is experienced consistently and shared with others. Learning and curiosity remain key elements. Spend time exploring new ideas, acquiring knowledge, or developing skills. Engaging the mind in growth-oriented activities builds confidence, keeps life interesting, and provides a sense of accomplishment. Daily learning contributes to long-term satisfaction and reinforces the mindset that supports happiness. Purposeful action is central to the system. Align daily tasks and choices with personal values and goals. Purposeful actions create meaning, strengthen motivation, and provide a sense of direction. When daily activities reflect values and contribute to larger goals, emotional fulfillment increases, and happiness becomes more sustainable. Maintaining balance is essential. A daily system should integrate work, rest, social connection, learning, and leisure. Overemphasis on one area at the expense of others can create stress, fatigue, or dissatisfaction. Intentional balance ensures that happiness is supported from multiple angles, creating a resilient foundation for emotional well-being. Regular review and adjustment keep the system effective. Life circumstances, goals, and priorities change over time. Periodically evaluating the daily system allows for refinement of habits, routines, and focus areas. This ensures that the system remains aligned with current needs, values, and aspirations, preventing stagnation and reinforcing long-term happiness. Finally, patience and persistence are essential. Building and maintaining a daily system for happiness is a lifelong process. Some days may feel less productive or joyful, and challenges will arise. Staying committed, practicing consistently, and adapting as needed ensures that happiness continues to grow over time. Understanding that joy develops gradually encourages perseverance and resilience. By integrating intention, morning and evening routines, habits, mindset reinforcement, planning, social connection, reflection, flexibility, stress management, gratitude, kindness, learning, purposeful action, balance, tracking, and periodic adjustment, you create a cohesive daily system for happiness. This system turns positive practices into natural, sustainable habits, ensuring that happiness becomes a consistent and reliable part of your life. Chapter 9. Overcoming setbacks and staying motivated. No journey toward happiness is perfectly smooth. Setbacks, failures, and moments of discouragement are inevitable parts of life. What matters most is not the setbacks themselves, but how you respond to them. Developing strategies to overcome obstacles and maintain motivation ensures that your pursuit of happiness remains consistent and resilient, even during difficult times. One of the first strategies is accepting setbacks as part of the process. Challenges and failures do not mean that you are failing as a person or that happiness is unattainable. Instead, they are natural experiences that offer opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow. By reframing setbacks as temporary and educational, you prevent them from undermining confidence or motivation. Acceptance creates mental clarity and reduces the emotional weight of obstacles, making it easier to move forward. Maintaining a positive mindset is crucial when facing challenges. Negative thoughts can spiral, making small difficulties feel overwhelming. Instead, focus on constructive self-talk and optimistic perspectives. Remind yourself of past successes, strengths, and the lessons learned from previous obstacles. Positive thinking does not ignore reality, but shifts attention toward possibilities, solutions, and actionable steps. This mindset supports motivation and reinforces emotional resilience. Reflection after setbacks helps identify lessons and opportunities for improvement. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, consider what can be learned and how to adjust future actions. This approach transforms failures into stepping stones rather than obstacles. Journaling, discussing experiences with a trusted friend, or simply spending quiet time analyzing outcomes can provide valuable insight. Regular reflection strengthens problem-solving skills and enhances the ability to recover from setbacks. Setting small, achievable goals is another way to stay motivated. Large objectives can feel overwhelming, especially after encountering difficulties. Breaking goals into manageable steps ensures progress continues, even during challenging periods. Each small success reinforces confidence and momentum, making it easier to tackle larger tasks. This approach prevents stagnation and maintains a steady sense of accomplishment, which supports long-term happiness. Support systems play a vital role in overcoming setbacks. Connecting with friends, family, mentors, or supportive communities provides encouragement, perspective, and practical guidance. Talking openly about challenges reduces feelings of isolation and strengthens emotional resilience. Support systems also offer reminders of strengths and past successes, which helps restore motivation during discouraging moments. Resilience-building practices are essential for maintaining motivation. Regularly facing manageable challenges, practicing patience, and learning coping strategies develop the ability to endure difficulties without losing focus. Activities such as mindfulness, physical exercise, or problem-solving exercises build mental and emotional strength. Resilient individuals are able to continue pursuing happiness despite setbacks, viewing obstacles as temporary rather than permanent barriers. Self-compassion is another key factor. When mistakes or failures occur, responding with understanding rather than self-criticism preserves confidence and motivation. Recognize that everyone encounters setbacks, and that learning from them is part of growth. Treating yourself kindly during challenging moments prevents discouragement and reinforces persistence. Visualization and mental rehearsal can also support motivation. Imagining successful outcomes, mentally practicing strategies, and picturing steps towards solutions strengthens confidence and preparedness. Visualization helps maintain focus on long-term goals, even when progress temporarily slows. Combined with consistent effort, this mental practice reinforces the belief that challenges can be overcome. Time management supports sustained motivation during setbacks. Organizing tasks, Prioritizing important actions and creating a balanced schedule ensures that challenges do not derail progress. Even small steps taken consistently build momentum and prevent feelings of overwhelm. Time management allows you to maintain productivity while managing stress, reinforcing a sense of control and purpose. Adapting strategies is critical when initial plans fail. Setbacks often indicate that adjustments are necessary. Flexibility allows you to modify approaches, try new methods, or seek additional resources without losing sight of goals. Being willing to adapt rather than giving up fosters confidence, maintains engagement, and increases the likelihood of success. Maintaining gratitude during setbacks strengthens emotional resilience. Even in difficult times, there are aspects of life to appreciate: support from others, progress made, or lessons learned. Focusing on positives prevents despair and keeps motivation alive. Gratitude helps shift attention away from failure and toward possibilities, reinforcing a constructive mindset. Tracking progress over time provides perspective. Looking back at previous successes, improvements, and growth helps maintain confidence when current challenges arise. Recognizing that setbacks are part of a larger journey reinforces motivation and reminds you that perseverance leads to progress. Progress tracking also helps identify patterns, strengths, and areas for continued development. Celebrating small victories during challenging times reinforces momentum. Even minor achievements indicate that effort produces results and that progress is ongoing. Acknowledging these wins encourages persistence and prevents discouragement. Regular celebration of small steps maintains enthusiasm, focus, and emotional energy. Mindful stress management is essential for sustaining motivation. Setbacks can trigger anxiety, frustration, or burnout. Incorporating mindfulness exercises, relaxation techniques, physical activity, or hobbies into daily routines prevents negative emotions from overwhelming focus and determination. Stress management ensures that energy remains available to continue pursuing happiness and goals. Learning from others' experiences can provide valuable guidance. Observing how people navigate challenges, adapt strategies, and maintain motivation offers insights and practical techniques. Books, mentors, stories, or case studies demonstrate that setbacks are normal and surmountable, reinforcing the belief that persistence produces results. Finally, maintaining long-term perspective is critical. Setbacks are temporary events within a broader journey. Keeping focus on overall goals, growth, and values prevents short-term difficulties from derailing motivation. A long-term perspective fosters patience, resilience, and continued engagement with happiness practices. Understanding that progress occurs gradually encourages persistence and reinforces the habits and mindset necessary for sustained joy. By integrating acceptance, positive mindset, reflection, achievable goals, support systems, resilience-building practices, self-compassion, visualization, time management, adaptability, gratitude, progress tracking, celebration of small victories, stress management, learning from others, and long-term perspective, you create strategies that allow setbacks to be overcome and motivation to remain high. Challenges become opportunities for growth rather than threats to happiness. Chapter 10. Finding Purpose and Deep Fulfillment.
Happiness is more than a momentary feeling of pleasure or contentment. True, lasting happiness is deeply connected to purpose and meaning. When people live in alignment with their values, contribute to something larger than themselves, and engage in activities that feel significant, they experience a profound sense of fulfillment. Understanding how to cultivate purpose is essential for creating happiness that lasts beyond temporary joys.
Purpose begins with self-awareness. To identify what truly matters, take time to reflect on your values, strengths, passions, and interests. Ask yourself questions like, what activities make me feel energized? What contributions make me proud? What values guide my decisions? By exploring these questions, you gain clarity on what drives you, which forms the foundation of meaningful living. Connecting actions to values is another key step. Daily tasks, goals and routines become more fulfilling when they reflect your principles. For instance, if helping others is important, volunteering, supporting friends, or mentoring younger individuals adds meaning to everyday activities. Purpose is reinforced when what you do aligns with who you want to be, creating a sense of coherence and satisfaction in life. Contribution to others amplifies happiness. Acts of service, kindness, or teaching provide a sense of connection and impact. Knowing that your efforts positively influence others fosters pride, confidence, and emotional well-being. Purposeful living often extends beyond personal gain, creating a cycle in which giving and helping generate internal rewards that deepen happiness. Setting long-term goals tied to meaningful outcomes is another practice for cultivating purpose. Goals provide direction, motivation, and a sense of accomplishment. When goals are aligned with values and passions, working toward them becomes enjoyable rather than burdensome. Breaking goals into achievable steps ensures progress, reinforces confidence, and maintains enthusiasm over time. Mindset shapes the experience of purpose. A growth-oriented and optimistic mindset allows you to view challenges as opportunities, persist through obstacles, and stay committed to meaningful goals. People who see setbacks as temporary and learn from experiences maintain purpose-driven momentum, even when progress is slow or difficult. Mindset and purpose work together to sustain long-term happiness. Routine and structure support the pursuit of purpose. Integrating daily practices that reinforce values, such as reflection, learning, or helping others, creates consistency and builds momentum. Structured routines make it easier to maintain focus on meaningful activities and prevent distraction by trivial concerns. Over time, these routines reinforce the alignment between actions, values, and purpose. Reflection deepens understanding of purpose. Regularly reviewing experiences, achievements, and challenges allows you to refine goals, recognize growth, and adjust priorities. Reflection ensures that your actions remain consistent with personal values and helps identify new opportunities for fulfillment. Journaling, meditation, or discussions with mentors can enhance awareness and insight. Curiosity and exploration support purposeful living. Trying new experiences, seeking knowledge, and stepping outside comfort zones help uncover hidden interests and talents. Exploration prevents stagnation and encourages continuous growth, which strengthens a sense of purpose. By remaining open to new opportunities, you expand the potential for meaningful contributions and experiences. Resilience is essential for pursuing purpose. Life will present obstacles, setbacks, and failures. Maintaining commitment to meaningful goals during challenging times reinforces self-efficacy and emotional stability. Resilience ensures that temporary difficulties do not derail long-term fulfillment and helps you persevere in the pursuit of happiness rooted in purpose. Gratitude enhances the sense of fulfillment. Appreciating the people, experiences, and opportunities in your life creates positive energy that sustains engagement and motivation. Gratitude reminds you that purpose is connected to both internal effort and external support, fostering connection, contentment, and a balanced perspective. Connection with others strengthens purpose. Surrounding yourself with people who share your values, support your goals, and encourage growth reinforces motivation. Mentors, friends, family, and communities provide guidance, feedback, and inspiration. These connections enrich experiences and provide social reinforcement for purposeful actions. Self-compassion remains critical in the pursuit of purpose. It is normal to encounter difficulties, doubt, or slow progress.
Treating yourself with kindness and understanding ensures that setbacks do not diminish motivation or create discouragement. Self-compassion maintains emotional balance and allows continued engagement in meaningful activities. Visualization can support purpose by keeping focus on meaningful outcomes. Imagining the impact of actions, visualizing success, or mentally rehearsing steps toward goals strengthens confidence and clarity. Visualization reinforces commitment, motivates action, and makes progress feel tangible, even during periods of uncertainty. Time management ensures that purposeful activities are prioritized. Allocating dedicated time to meaningful tasks prevents distractions, ensures progress, and reinforces the habit of aligning actions with values. Consistent attention to purpose-driven activities gradually builds a life rich in fulfillment and satisfaction. Celebrating achievements, both large and small, reinforces purpose. Recognizing accomplishments reminds you that effort produces impact and encourages continued engagement. Regular acknowledgement of progress strengthens motivation, builds confidence, and sustains joy derived from meaningful pursuits. Balance is essential. While pursuing purpose, it is important to integrate rest, relationships, learning, and self-care. Overemphasis on achievement or contribution, without attention to personal well-being, can undermine happiness. Balancing purpose with other dimensions of life ensures sustainability and prevents burnout. Maintaining perspective is key to long-term fulfillment. Purpose does not require perfection or constant success. Understanding that growth, learning, and contribution are processes allows you to remain patient and resilient. Perspective ensures that setbacks, delays, or minor disappointments do not diminish overall satisfaction or motivation. Consistency, reflection, growth, and connection form the pillars of purposeful happiness. By consciously aligning daily actions with values, cultivating relationships, practicing gratitude, and building resilience, you create a life that is not only joyful in the moment, but deeply fulfilling over time. Purpose provides direction, energy, and meaning that strengthens happiness, making it sustainable and resilient. Chapter 11. Integrating Mindset, Habits, and Purpose for Lasting Happiness. So far you have learnt about mindset, daily habits, routines, resilience, and purpose. Each of these elements contributes to happiness, but integrating them into a cohesive system creates a life in which joy is sustainable and deeply rooted. Combining these principles ensures that happiness is not temporary, but a natural part of your everyday experience. Integration begins with awareness. Notice how your thoughts, actions, and daily routines influence your emotions. Pay attention to moments when you feel energized, content, or fulfilled, and identify what contributed to those feelings. Likewise, observe when negativity, stress, or frustration rises. Understanding these patterns allows you to consciously adjust your mindset and habits to maximize happiness. Awareness is the first step in creating an intentional system that supports long-term well-being. A growth-oriented mindset acts as the foundation. Believing that abilities can improve and challenges can be overcome encourages persistence, curiosity, and resilience. Growth mindset interacts with habits and routines by allowing you to learn from mistakes and continue practicing positive behaviors without discouragement. Optimism, flexibility, and self-compassion strengthen this mindset, providing a stable base for sustainable happiness. Daily habits reinforce mindset and purpose. Simple actions such as journaling, meditation, physical activity, learning, reflection, and social connection become building blocks for emotional well-being. When habits are consistent, they create momentum that supports positive thinking and purposeful action. Over time, these routines transform into automatic behaviors, making happiness accessible without constant effort. Purpose gives meaning to habits and routines.
Actions feel more rewarding when they align with personal values, goals, and passions. Connecting daily practices to larger objectives creates motivation and resilience. Purpose provides a sense of direction, turning ordinary activities into meaningful contributions. Even small tasks can feel significant when performed with intention and aligned with your values. Reflection bridges all elements of integration. Daily or weekly review allows you to assess habits, mindset, and progress toward purpose. Reflection highlights successes, identifies areas for growth, and ensures alignment between actions and values. This practice strengthens self-awareness and encourages intentional adjustments, keeping your system of happiness dynamic and responsive to changing circumstances. Resilience interacts with all components. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. A resilient system allows you to navigate setbacks without losing momentum. Mindset shapes perception, habits create consistency, and purpose provides motivation. Together, these elements create a buffer against negativity, enabling recovery and continued pursuit of happiness despite obstacles. Time management and balance support integration. Prioritizing tasks that align with values, ensuring time for rest and relationships, and structuring the day to include supportive habits allows you to maintain emotional energy and focus. Balance prevents burnout and ensures that no single aspect of life overwhelms others. A well-structured day reinforces consistent practice, sustaining happiness over the long term. Gratitude strengthens the integrated system. Recognizing the positive aspects of life daily enhances perspective, increases resilience, and reinforces motivation. Gratitude makes habits more meaningful, mindset more constructive, and purpose more tangible. It also nurtures social connections by fostering appreciation for others and enhancing the quality of relationships. Flexibility ensures that integration is sustainable. Life will present unexpected changes, challenges, or interruptions. An integrated system that allows adaptation without abandoning core practices preserves momentum. Flexibility prevents discouragement, maintains consistency, and ensures that happiness remains accessible under varying circumstances. Visualization and goal setting link mindset, habits, and purpose. Imagining desired outcomes and creating achievable steps strengthens confidence, motivation, and direction. Visualization keeps focus on meaningful objectives while reinforcing the habits that support progress. Goals serve as benchmarks, providing evidence of achievement and growth, which enhances satisfaction and joy. Support systems enhance integration. Engaging with people who share values, provide encouragement, or offer guidance reinforces positive practices. Social support strengthens emotional resilience, provides feedback on progress, and motivates continued effort. Integrating relationships into your system ensures that external reinforcement complements internal practices. Mindful attention ensures that integration is active rather than automatic. Being present in each moment allows you to notice how thoughts, actions, and experiences align with your goals and values. Mindfulness encourages deliberate choice rather than reaction, reinforcing habits, strengthening mindset, and maintaining connection with purpose. Celebrating progress regularly reinforces integration. Recognizing accomplishments, growth, and alignment with values provides motivation to continue practicing positive habits. Celebrating milestones, even small ones, strengthens the emotional impact of achievements and makes long-term happiness feel tangible and attainable. Learning and curiosity remain integral to the system. Continuously exploring new ideas, skills, and perspectives ensures that habits, mindset, and purpose evolve over time. Lifelong learning prevents stagnation, keeps life interesting, and contributes to sustained engagement, which enhances long-term happiness. Self-compassion remains a key component of integration. Treating yourself kindly during setbacks, mistakes or slow progress allows the system to remain stable. Self-compassion prevents discouragement, nurtures resilience, and ensures continued engagement in positive practices, strengthening the overall structure of happiness. Finally, reflection on alignment and adjustment is ongoing. Life circumstances, personal goals, and external conditions change. Periodic evaluation ensures that habits, mindset, and purpose remain relevant and effective. Making small adjustments keeps the integrated system responsive, flexible, and capable of sustaining joy across diverse situations. By combining mindset, habits, routines, reflection, purpose, resilience, balance, gratitude, flexibility, visualization, social support, mindfulness, celebration, learning, and self-compassion, you create an integrated system for lasting happiness. This system transforms ordinary life into a structured, meaningful, and joyful experience. Happiness becomes a natural outcome of intentional actions, reinforced thoughts, and purposeful living. Chapter 12. Building Resilience for Life's Challenges. Life is full of unexpected events, difficulties and moments that test our patience, strength, and determination. Building resilience is essential to maintain happiness when circumstances become challenging. Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to change, and continue pursuing meaningful goals, even when life feels difficult. It is not an inborn trait, but a skill that can be developed through practice, reflection, and intentional strategies. One of the first steps in building resilience is developing self-awareness. Understanding your emotional responses, stress triggers, and personal strengths allows you to navigate challenges more effectively. By recognizing patterns in how you react to difficulties, you can anticipate potential obstacles and choose more constructive responses. Self-awareness provides the foundation for emotional control, clear thinking, and proactive problem-solving. Cultivating a growth mindset strengthens resilience. Viewing setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as failures, encourages persistence. People with a growth mindset approach challenges with curiosity, seeking solutions and lessons rather than dwelling on limitations. This perspective transforms difficulties into experiences that build confidence, skills, and emotional strength. Developing strong coping strategies is essential. Resilient individuals use practical techniques to manage stress, maintain focus, and preserve emotional stability. These strategies might include deep breathing, mindfulness, journaling, exercise, or talking with supportive friends or mentors. By having tools to manage emotional responses, you prevent challenges from overwhelming your mind and maintain clarity and focus. Social support plays a critical role in resilience. Engaging with friends, family, mentors, or supportive communities provides encouragement, advice, and perspective. Sharing experiences with others reduces feelings of isolation, offers alternative viewpoints, and strengthens motivation. Resilient people recognize the value of connection and actively seek support when needed. Flexibility and adaptability are key components of resilience. Life rarely follows a predictable path, and rigid approaches to challenges can lead to frustration or burnout. Being willing to adjust plans, reconsider strategies, and explore new solutions ensures that setbacks do not derail progress. Flexibility allows you to remain proactive and maintain a sense of control even in uncertain situations. Maintaining optimism supports resilience. Positive expectations for the future provide motivation and energy to face difficulties. Optimism does not mean ignoring problems. It involves recognizing challenges while focusing on potential solutions, opportunities for growth, and eventual success. Optimistic thinking encourages perseverance and sustains emotional well-being during tough times. Setting realistic goals helps maintain focus and motivation. When challenges arise, Breaking tasks into achievable steps prevents feelings of overwhelm and provides clear direction. Small accomplishments build confidence, reinforce competence, and create momentum. Goals provide structure, purpose, and evidence that effort produces results, even in difficult circumstances. Reflection and learning from past experiences strengthen resilience. By reviewing challenges you have overcome, you gain perspective on your capabilities and the strategies that work best for you. Understanding past successes and lessons learned increases confidence, improves problem-solving skills, and provides reassurance that current difficulties can also be managed effectively. Self-compassion is critical when facing setbacks. Resilient individuals treat themselves with kindness and patience, recognizing that mistakes and difficulties are part of the human experience. Self-compassion reduces negative self-talk, prevents discouragement, and supports continued engagement in constructive habits and strategies. Mindfulness and present moment focus enhance resilience. Paying attention to current experiences, rather than ruminating on past mistakes or worrying about future challenges, allows you to respond effectively to difficulties. Mindfulness promotes emotional regulation, reduces stress and strengthens clarity, enabling more intentional action during difficult times. Healthy routines provide stability in uncertain periods. Regular habits, such as sleep, exercise, nutrition, reflection, and gratitude create a consistent foundation that supports emotional and physical well-being. Strong routines ensure that resilience is sustained even when external circumstances are unpredictable. Gratitude reinforces resilience. Recognizing and appreciating positives, even in challenging situations, helps maintain perspective and emotional balance. Gratitude strengthens the mind's ability to focus on solutions, opportunities, and growth, rather than being consumed by negativity or despair. Purpose and meaning provide motivation to persist. Resilient individuals often have clear goals and values that guide decisions and actions. Connecting daily efforts to meaningful objectives enhances commitment, provides direction, and reinforces the belief that challenges are temporary obstacles along a larger path. Purpose fuels perseverance when difficulties arise. Problem-solving skills are central to resilience. Approaching obstacles methodically, analyzing options, and taking decisive action reduces stress and enhances confidence. Developing effective problem-solving habits ensures that challenges are met proactively rather than reactively, reinforcing a sense of control and mastery over circumstances. Visualization and mental rehearsal strengthen resilience. Imagining successful outcomes, mentally practicing coping strategies, or anticipating obstacles prepares the mind for action. Visualization reinforces confidence, reduces fear of failure, and enhances readiness to face difficulties. Regular practice of these techniques creates a mental framework that supports persistence. Celebrating progress reinforces resilience. Recognizing even small achievements during challenging times maintains motivation and positive energy. Celebrations provide emotional reinforcement, highlight growth, and remind you that effort produces results. Regular acknowledgement of success strengthens perseverance and commitment to long-term goals. Flexibility in expectations is vital. Understanding that setbacks are part of life, and that perfection is not required, prevents frustration and discouragement. Accepting imperfection allows you to continue making progress, learn from mistakes, and adapt without losing confidence or motivation. Continual learning supports resilience. Engaging in ongoing education, skill development, or exploration of new strategies equips you with tools to navigate future challenges. Learning fosters adaptability, creativity, and confidence, all of which reinforce the ability to overcome obstacles effectively. Consistency and patience are essential for building long-term resilience. Developing emotional strength takes time and repeated practice. By persistently applying strategies, reflecting on experiences, and maintaining constructive habits, resilience grows gradually, creating a stable foundation for happiness even in the face of adversity. By integrating self-awareness, growth mindset, coping strategies, social support, flexibility, optimism, goal setting, reflection, self-compassion, mindfulness, routines, gratitude, purpose, problem-solving skills, visualization, celebration, learning, and patience, you cultivate resilience that sustains happiness. Life will challenge you, but with resilience, you can navigate setbacks, maintain focus, and continue pursuing meaningful goals with confidence and determination. Chapter 13. Creating a lifelong system for happiness. All the strategies, habits, and lessons you have learned so far, mindset, routines, resilience, purpose, and reflection, can be combined into a lifelong system that supports enduring happiness. Rather than relying on fleeting moments of joy or reacting to circumstances, a lifelong system integrates positive practices into your daily life, making happiness consistent, sustainable, and deeply rooted. The foundation of a lifelong happiness system is intentionality. Start each day with clear focus and purpose. Consider what actions will support your well-being, align with your values, and move you toward meaningful goals. Setting intentions daily reinforces awareness, reduces distraction, and encourages conscious choices rather than reactive behavior. Even a few minutes spent each morning, reflecting on priorities and desired outcomes, sets a positive tone for the day. Morning routines are essential components of the system. Begin with activities that energize your body, center your mind, and cultivate gratitude. Exercise, stretching, meditation, journaling, or reviewing meaningful goals primes your emotional and mental state for positivity. Consistent morning routines reinforce habits, provide structure, and prepare you to approach the day with resilience and focus. Daily habits form the core of your system. Identify small, manageable actions that support emotional well-being, learning, growth, and social connection. These habits, when performed consistently, build momentum and reinforce happiness naturally. Examples include mindfulness practice, reading, connecting with loved ones, practicing gratitude, or engaging in purposeful activities. Regular habits create a reliable framework that sustains joy even during challenging periods. Evening routines are equally important. Conclude the day with reflection, assessment, and preparation for tomorrow. Review accomplishments, lessons learned, and areas for growth. Practicing gratitude before bed enhances perspective and emotional balance. Evening routines create a sense of closure, reinforce progress, and prepare your mind for rest, ensuring recovery and readiness for the next day. Integrating purpose and meaning gives the system depth. Align daily actions with personal values, long-term goals, and meaningful contributions. Purpose ensures that habits, routines, and efforts are not arbitrary, but connected to what truly matters. Purposeful living fosters motivation, resilience, and fulfillment, providing a sense of significance that sustains happiness throughout life. Resilience strengthens the system against challenges. Life is unpredictable, and obstacles are inevitable. Incorporating strategies for coping with setbacks, managing stress, and maintaining optimism ensures that the system remains effective during difficult times. Reflection, adaptation, and learning from experience enhance resilience, making challenges opportunities for growth rather than threats to well-being. Mindset reinforcement is central to the system. The growth-oriented, positive, and flexible mindset enables learning from setbacks, embracing challenges, and sustaining motivation. Mindset interacts with habits, routines, and purpose, providing the emotional foundation to maintain happiness consistently. Regular reinforcement through reflection, affirmation, and conscious thought supports lasting mental and emotional health. Time management and balance are critical components. Structure your day to include tasks that support growth, well-being, social connection, and rest. Preventing overemphasis on one area ensures that all dimensions of life receive attention, reducing stress, avoiding burnout, and maintaining consistency. Balance allows each element of the system to reinforce others, creating a cohesive approach to lasting happiness. Social support enhances the system. Engaging with people who share values, provide encouragement, and offer constructive feedback strengthens motivation and accountability. Positive relationships reinforce habits, provide perspective, and create a sense of belonging, all of which amplify happiness and resilience. Integrating regular social connection ensures that support and reinforcement are embedded in the system. Reflection and adjustment are ongoing processes. Life's circumstances, goals, and priorities evolve. Periodically reviewing your system ensures that routines, habits, mindset, and purpose remain aligned with current needs and aspirations. Reflection allows for refinement, ensures continued relevance, and strengthens commitment, keeping the system effective across different stages of life. Gratitude amplifies the impact of the system. Regularly acknowledging positives, appreciating achievements, and noticing small joys cultivates optimism, strengthens relationships, and reinforces positive habits. Gratitude keeps focus on what matters, helping you maintain balance, perspective, and motivation, even in challenging circumstances. Learning and curiosity sustain growth within the system. Engaging with new ideas, acquiring skills, and exploring interests prevents stagnation and enhances engagement. Lifelong learning supports confidence, adaptability, and satisfaction, reinforcing habits, mindset, and purpose, while contributing to sustained happiness. Celebration of progress ensures continued motivation. Recognize achievements, milestones, and personal growth regularly. Celebrating progress reinforces the value of consistent effort, strengthens self-efficacy, and maintains emotional energy, creating a positive feedback loop that sustains engagement with the system. Flexibility ensures sustainability. Life will inevitably present interruptions, setbacks, or changes in priorities. A flexible system adapts without losing focus on core practices, maintaining stability while allowing adjustment to circumstances. Flexibility ensures that the system remains practical, achievable, and resilient over time. Self-compassion supports perseverance and emotional balance, accepting that mistakes, slow progress, or temporary setbacks are normal prevents discouragement. Treating yourself with understanding and patience ensures continued engagement with the system, reinforcing long-term consistency and well-being. Integration of all elements: intentionality, routines, habits, purpose, resilience, mindset, reflection, balance, social support, gratitude, learning, celebration, flexibility, and self-compassion creates a comprehensive, lifelong system for happiness. Each element reinforces the others, producing a cycle in which effort, reflection, and meaningful action naturally generate joy. This integrated system turns happiness into a sustainable part of life. Rather than being dependent on external events or temporary pleasures, happiness becomes a consistent outcome of deliberate choices, structured practices, and connection to what truly matters. Over time, the system builds emotional stability, mental clarity, and a sense of fulfillment that is resilient to challenges and adaptable to change. By committing to this lifelong approach, you create a framework that supports continuous growth, sustained joy, and meaningful living. Each day becomes an opportunity to practice habits, strengthen mindset, reinforce purpose, build resilience, and experience gratitude. Through consistent application, Happiness evolves from fleeting moments to a stable, deeply rooted state of well-being. Chapter 14. Sustaining Happiness and Growth Over a Lifetime. Building a system for happiness is just the beginning. Life is a dynamic journey, and sustaining joy, purpose, and fulfillment over decades requires ongoing attention, adaptation, and growth. This chapter explores strategies for maintaining happiness and ensuring that the principles you have learned continue to produce positive results throughout your life. One of the most important aspects of sustaining happiness is consistency. Daily practices, habits, and routines that support well-being should remain regular, even when life becomes busy or challenging. Consistency reinforces positive behaviors, strengthens mindset, and makes happiness a natural outcome rather than a sporadic experience. Small, repeated actions compound over time, creating enduring results. Reflection and self-assessment are essential. Periodically review your progress, successes, and challenges. Consider how your habits, mindset, purpose, and routines align with current goals and values. Reflection ensures that your system remains relevant, effective, and adaptable to new circumstances. Regular self-assessment allows you to make informed adjustments and maintain momentum toward long-term happiness. Adaptation is key. Life circumstances, responsibilities, and priorities change over time. A system that worked perfectly in one stage of life may require adjustment in another. Flexibility ensures that habits, routines, and goals continue to support well-being, despite evolving circumstances. Adaptation allows the system to remain practical, effective, and resilient, preventing stagnation or burnout. Continued learning fuels sustained growth. Lifelong curiosity, skill development, and exploration of new ideas prevent complacency and enhance engagement with life. Learning supports mental agility, confidence, and emotional resilience, reinforcing the system of happiness. By embracing education and personal development throughout life, you maintain vitality, interest, and purpose. Gratitude reinforces sustained well-being. Taking time to appreciate small joys, achievements, and meaningful experiences helps maintain a positive perspective. Gratitude strengthens relationships, fosters contentment, and reinforces motivation. Regular practice of gratitude ensures that attention remains focused on positives, even during challenging periods, supporting long-term happiness. Social connection is another cornerstone. Maintaining relationships with family, friends, mentors, and community enhances emotional support and provides opportunities for growth, learning, and shared joy. Positive interactions reinforce the principles of purpose, gratitude, and meaning, strengthening resilience and overall life satisfaction. Investing in relationships over time ensures a stable foundation for emotional well-being. Mindset remains critical. A growth-oriented, optimistic, and flexible mindset allows you to navigate setbacks, embrace challenges, and continue pursuing meaningful goals. Mindset interacts with habits, routines, and purpose, sustaining motivation and providing the emotional foundation necessary for long-term happiness. Regular reinforcement of constructive thinking ensures stability and adaptability throughout life. Purpose evolves over time. Your values, goals, and interests may shift as you progress through different life stages. Continually revisiting and adjusting your purpose ensures that your system of happiness remains aligned with what truly matters. Purpose provides direction, motivation, and fulfillment, reinforcing the overall framework of sustained joy. Resilience is essential for lifelong happiness. Life will always present challenges, losses, and unexpected events. Resilient practices, including problem-solving, self-compassion, flexibility, and mindfulness, enable you to recover and continue moving forward. Building resilience ensures that setbacks do not permanently derail your system of happiness, and that challenges become opportunities for growth, rather than obstacles. Integration of habits and routines remains important. Morning and evening practices, reflection, learning, social connection, and purposeful action should continue to be prioritized. These practices reinforce emotional stability, mental clarity, and consistency. Habits that support well-being over decades create a cumulative effect, producing long-term satisfaction and resilience. Celebrating progress and milestones sustains motivation. Acknowledging achievements, growth, and contributions provides reinforcement and encourages continued engagement. Celebrations do not need to be grand. Even small recognition of daily efforts maintains momentum and strengthens self-efficacy. Over time, this practice reinforces the connection between consistent action and positive outcomes. Balance is critical for long-term happiness. Sustaining well-being requires attention to multiple dimensions of life, including physical health, relationships, learning, work, leisure, and personal development. Overemphasis on one area can lead to neglect in others, reducing overall satisfaction. Maintaining balance ensures that all elements of life support and enhance each other, creating a comprehensive system for enduring happiness. Self-compassion continues to be a vital tool. Life will inevitably include mistakes, slow progress, and moments of discouragement. Responding with understanding and kindness toward yourself prevents negative self-talk and preserves motivation. Self-compassion maintains emotional health and reinforces the ability to sustain practices that support long-term well-being. Visualization and goal-setting support continued engagement. Imagining desired outcomes, reviewing progress, and adjusting goals keeps focus on meaningful objectives. Visualization reinforces motivation, clarifies steps, and strengthens confidence in your ability to maintain happiness practices over time. Goals provide structure, direction, and measurable benchmarks that guide your system effectively. Journaling or tracking progress remains valuable. Recording experiences, reflections, and growth allows you to observe patterns, identify areas for adjustment, and reinforce motivation. This practice provides perspective on long-term progress, highlighting achievements and encouraging continued commitment. Written reflection serves as both a guide and a record of sustained development. Contribution to others reinforces happiness. Sharing knowledge, skills, or support creates positive feedback loops, strengthening social connection, purpose, and fulfillment. Acts of kindness, mentorship, or community engagement maintain a sense of impact and meaning, enhancing emotional satisfaction and reinforcing the integrated system for well-being. Flexibility in expectations is essential. Life may not always unfold according to plan, and perfection is neither possible nor necessary. Adapting to changing circumstances, being patient with yourself, and maintaining commitment to core principles ensures that happiness remains resilient over time. Flexibility allows you to respond effectively without losing sight of long-term goals or practices. Maintaining curiosity and openness ensures continued growth. Embracing new experiences, perspectives, and opportunities prevents stagnation and enriches life. Curiosity fuels learning, expands understanding, and encourages exploration of new ways to practice happiness, strengthening the system throughout all life stages. By combining consistent habits, reflection, purpose, resilience, gratitude, social connection, balance, mindset, self-compassion, visualization, goal setting, learning, contribution, flexibility, and curiosity, you create a lifelong system that sustains happiness. This system transforms daily choices into meaningful, fulfilling, and joyful experiences, making well-being a stable, enduring feature of your life. Chapter 15. Leaving a Legacy of Happiness and Fulfillment. Happiness is not just a personal experience. It can ripple outward, affecting the lives of those around you, and even future generations. When you develop a sustainable system for joy, purpose, and resilience, you have the opportunity to leave a lasting legacy. This chapter explores how to extend the benefits of your happiness practices to family, friends, communities, and beyond. A meaningful legacy begins with intentional living. The values, habits, and mindset you cultivate serve as examples for others. By demonstrating commitment to growth, kindness, purpose, and resilience, you inspire those around you to adopt similar practices. Living intentionally ensures that your actions carry significance beyond immediate personal benefit. Teaching and mentoring others magnifies impact. Sharing knowledge, insights, and practical strategies helps friends, family members, or younger generations navigate challenges and pursue happiness effectively. Mentorship fosters confidence and capability in others, while reinforcing your own practices. By guiding others toward meaningful action, you contribute to a culture of growth and fulfillment. Acts of kindness and service create lasting impressions. Consistent generosity, empathy, and support leave emotional imprints on those you interact with. Small, thoughtful gestures can influence lives far beyond what you may initially realize. By integrating kindness into daily life, you create a ripple effect that extends the impact of your happiness system outward. Storytelling and sharing experiences preserves lessons learned. Narratives about overcoming challenges, finding purpose, or practicing gratitude provide tangible examples for others to follow. Storytelling conveys not only strategies, but also emotional insight, inspiring others to develop resilience, adopt positive habits, and seek meaningful fulfillment. Building traditions and rituals strengthens legacy. Establishing family or community practices that emphasize reflection, gratitude, learning, and shared purpose embeds the principles of happiness in collective life. These rituals, repeated over time, create continuity and reinforce positive values for future generations. Encouraging autonomy and critical thinking in others ensures that your influence supports genuine growth. Providing guidance without imposing rigid rules allows individuals to explore their own values, passions, and approaches to happiness. Autonomy fosters confidence, decision-making skills, and personal responsibility, strengthening the foundation for long-term well-being. Modeling resilience leaves a powerful impression, demonstrating calm, persistence, and adaptability in the face of challenges, teaches others the value of emotional strength. Observing how you respond to setbacks provides lessons that no instruction alone can convey. Leading by example shows that difficulties can be managed and growth can emerge from adversity. Sharing gratitude and appreciation spreads positivity. Expressing acknowledgement for others' efforts, presence, or support reinforces social bonds and encourages reciprocal kindness. Gratitude is contagious. By practicing it openly, you inspire a culture of recognition and emotional generosity. Investing in education and personal development of others extends your legacy. Supporting learning, providing resources, or mentoring skill development enables others to pursue meaningful goals and build confidence. Knowledge and skills acquired through encouragement or guidance can impact lifetimes, creating a lasting contribution beyond immediate influence. Fostering community involvement multiplies impact. Encouraging participation in local initiatives, volunteer projects, or collaborative efforts embeds principles of purpose, kindness, and contribution in collective life. Active engagement strengthens social cohesion, creates shared experiences, and reinforces values that sustain happiness within the broader environment. Documenting your journey preserves wisdom. Journals, letters, or recordings of experiences, lessons, and reflections provide guidance for others, even after your presence is no longer immediate. Written or recorded insights allow future generations to learn from your experiences, challenges and triumphs, extending your impact across time. Creating environments that reflect your values reinforces legacy. The spaces you inhabit, home, workplace, or community, can be designed to promote learning, reflection, creativity, connection, and well-being. Environments that support positive behaviors naturally influence those who interact within them, embedding principles of happiness in daily life. Encouraging intergenerational connection strengthens continuity. Engaging with younger individuals, sharing experiences, and modeling constructive habits creates bridges between generations. Knowledge, resilience strategies, and purposeful practices are transmitted effectively, ensuring that lessons in happiness endure. Celebrating collective achievements reinforces community and legacy. Recognizing milestones, contributions, or shared growth encourages cohesion and emphasizes the value of consistent effort. Celebration reinforces principles of gratitude, purpose, and collaboration, leaving an emotional imprint that extends your influence. Modeling ethical behavior and integrity enhances trust and long-term impact. Consistent alignment of words, actions, and values sets a standard for others to emulate. Ethical living strengthens relationships, builds credibility, and ensures that the principles of your happiness system are respected and adopted by those around you. Encouraging lifelong curiosity and learning ensures that your influence remains dynamic. Inspiring others to explore, experiment, and grow creates a culture of ongoing development, innovation, and engagement with life. Curiosity encourages adaptability, problem-solving, and fulfillment, extending the benefits of your practices beyond immediate experiences. Balancing guidance with encouragement of autonomy ensures sustainable impact. Helping others build their own systems for happiness rather than imposing yours empowers them to internalize practices in a way that suits their values and life circumstances. Sustainable legacy comes from enabling self-reliance and critical thinking in those you influence. By combining mentorship, service, storytelling, traditions, autonomy, modeling resilience, expressing gratitude, fostering education, community involvement, documentation, environment shaping, intergenerational connection, celebration, ethical behavior, curiosity, and balanced guidance, you create a legacy that amplifies happiness beyond your own life. Your influence extends to family, friends, community, and even future generations, creating a cycle of joy, growth, and fulfillment that perpetuates positive impact. Sustaining a personal system of happiness while leaving a legacy ensures that joy is not only experienced in the present but transmitted into the future. The principles you practice, mindset, habits, routines, resilience, purpose, reflection, gratitude, and contribution become embedded in the lives of others, creating enduring well-being. Thank you for listening to this audiobook. I hope you found valuable insights and practical guidance to help you build lasting happiness, resilience, and purpose in your life. Remember, true change comes from consistent practice, reflection, and applying what resonates with you. If you enjoyed this audiobook, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future content that can help you grow, learn, and live a more fulfilling life. Keep practicing, stay mindful, and continue your journey toward happiness every day. Your journey doesn't end here. Take what you've learned, put it into action, and watch as small daily steps transform your life into one filled with purpose, joy, and meaningful connections. Thank you again for joining, and I look forward to sharing more lessons and stories with you soon.